Good afternoon. Welcome to Guna Matters. Now, Guna Matters hasn't been on the stream for a long time. Pardon me. Pardon for that. I just wanted to connect my mic. Yeah, so Guna Matters hasn't been online for a while in terms of video recording. I had a couple of lives, but that's that. So there's so many things around about consistency of refereeing and the red card of Declan Rice, and what is deemed to be the new rule and the letter of the law. There's so many things that you can sort of touch on. What I want to make clear is we as fans, no matter who you support Arsenal, whether you support Liverpool, whether you support Ipswich, whoever you support, get on the bandwagon of the tribalism, because it's not about just the one club that's suffering of this. It's all the clubs that are suffering of the inconsistency of the PGML officials, VAR. This is so inconsistent that it pains the players, it frustrates the managers, it frustrates the fans, and it frustrates everybody involved in the game. And I want to say this before I say anything. Yes, the referees, they are trying their best, and there's many a times that players abuse the referees, the fans abuse the referees, the managers abuse the referees, and it is not. It's not right. It doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it justifiable for people to abuse people. However, having said that, they are human. They will make mistakes. But to the extent of the mistakes they are making, it is week in, week out, season in, season out. And and people banter about it. The rival fans banter about it. So when you call yourself a football fan, firstly, it's not about your club. It's about the game. It's about the game of football. It's about the football that you love, the football that you watch. The things that you do is because of the love of the game. Banter aside, fans of specific clubs aside, you have to come to a point whereby you are a neutral when it comes to a fan of football, because it can happen to any team, any player. It can happen to your team, can happen to your team, your player, it can happen to the opposing team, it can happen to anybody. We shouldn't watch football when we watch our teams play. We shouldn't watch it with just one-sided vision, like a donkey or like a horse with his eye flaps on. You can't watch football like that. You gotta scrutinize it in terms of what your team does wrong, firstly, and be critical about it. And of course, what your opposition does wrong and be critical about that. And then, of course, do what the officials does wrong. PGML officials, VAR officials. What do they do wrong? And then collectively make a decision based on that particular match. But don't go banter about, yes, Arsenal got a red card because it's the letter of the law. Yes, it's the letter of the law, but then if you don't see the letter of the law being practiced throughout the game, you gotta get onto that particular wagon where you gotta say, but hey, that was harsh for Arsenal, that was harsh for Liverpool, that was harsh for United, or whoever it might be. It was harsh because of the reality of the fan base that watches football, the reality of the mistakes and the inconsistent mistakes that or the rather inconsistent decisions that the referees are making. That is how you're going to have to start judging and commenting and start watching football. Now you have to watch football because we are so quick to say yes, the Spurs. Oh wow, look at Spurs. They got a red card for this and that and the other. If it is the player's mistake and he deserves the red card, by all means. Sorry, man. It's just, I don't know what's wrong with this earphones now. Okay, there we go. By all means, banter's all good and banter this and banter that. But at the end of the day, if the Spurs player didn't deserve that card, then you got to stand up and say, "But hey, that is harsh. He didn't deserve a red card like that." Then they talk about common sense. Common sense shouldn't even be part of the rules. Uh, um, um, but subjective, not common sense, just subjectivity shouldn't even be part of the rules because we all perceive something differently. The context of it all, it should be clear. If it is a handball in the penalty area, whether your hand is here or there, the context of it needs to be considered, and then make a decision based on that. But because it's subjective, you're going to perceive it differently. So, by the way, like the video, share the video, subscribe to Good No Matters, and leave your thoughts in the comment section below. So make sure that you do that, and then obviously put the notification bell for all the notifications to get when we go live or when we are posting videos and whatnot. So I get all the realities of being a fan. In my personal capacity, I don't like banter. I don't banter if I don't have to. If I banter, it will probably be a minute or two, and, and that's it. I don't go on about yes, you guys lost, and we did this and we did that, because that thing can bite you in the butt. For argument's sake, Arsenal plays Spurs next week, not next week, the week after next. Then we play City, and both games is away. I fear those games because number one is Declan Rice is not playing. However, we might have to tweak some things and our technique and what have you, and tactics and whatnot. And then we play City away at the Etihad. So for argument's sake, we win both games hypothetically. And I said, yes, we've done it. We've beat City, we've beat Spurs. And you know what? The next game we play against Ipswich. And Ipswich beat us. What's the point in that? You know, it's just you sort of cutting, yeah, you're cutting your nose to spite your face. There's so many variables. The reason why I don't banter. Yes, I'm not a serious person, but I do banter. But I'm not gonna be unrealistic of the banter, because if I'm gonna go banter and the very next game week, I get so um, annihilated by a different team, and you know what? The banter is gonna come back to me. So I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to be on the other side of it. I will still get banter even though I didn't do anything, even though I didn't say anything. I will still get bantered by the fans that I will fans. But that's beside the point. So we need to get to the point of where, as fans of football, we need to stand together, especially if it is a decision going wrong, even if it is the opposing team, even if it is the rival team, even if it is the player you don't like. You have to be consistent in your criticism. You have to be consistent in your reports as fan-based channels. You have to be consistent, because you know what? If the fans are standing together, you don't know who of the PGML or who of the Premier League or whoever VAR is watching your channel, or somebody is making a snippet of your channel, or of whatever you said, you don't know what that sort of impact will bring when there is unity among all fans, no matter the team you support. You have to practice consistency. You have to practice uh, uh, um, um, true consistency when you do your channel reviews and previews, or match reviews, or PGML, VAR reviews, whatever your topics are for those particular shows. You have to be consistent in your criticism. Don't be a hypocrite, because if I'm going to say Arsenal is the best team in England, I'm going to be a hypocrite because the next game they fail to win, I'm going to say this is a bunch of this and a bunch of that. Then I'm not saying they're the best team in England, because at the end of the day, I can't be trusted, especially for the viewers that are watching my channel, my shows. I can't be trusted in what I say. If you wanna do become a different level in your channel. Sorry about that. My son and his friends just came and disturbed me a bit. But yeah, like I say, it is, you have to be consistent in your reviews or previews or shows, whatever you do, your comments, your statements, your criticism. It has to be consistent, because at the end of the day, if you have fans, if you have people, a community that watch your shows consistently, they want to trust you. They want to trust your opinion. They want to trust that you have the fan base of football, their interest at heart. All of us make mistakes. All of us say things that we probably um, didn't mean in the past, or even now, or probably will say things in the future still. But you have to be consistent. The referees are consistently messing up. And who's calling them out? Not the mainstream media. The mainstream media are not challenging on the things that they should be challenging. They will ask questions, and that will stop there. But they're not continuously unpacking these issues. Because at the end of the day, why are we making use of these mainstream media channels? I mean, I'm gonna show you clips, and it has been probably played and on so many other channels, and unfortunately, it is probably the best scenario to create a argument. Now, Dermot Gallagher has said something about two very, very similar situations. Now, Luton Town versus Swansea in the champ. Pardon the language there. Luton Town against Swansea. Now, that's a very, very similar situation that happened to Arsenal and Declan Rice. The player also flicked the ball onto the side and into the line. And Gallagher said this, and I quote, I don't understand how that could not be a red card. I would have given a red card. I don't understand why the referee didn't give a red card. A yellow card? And the exact same thing is where the ball was placed for a free kick, and the player just nicked it over the touch line. and he wanted the red card to be given for the Luton player. And all of us know what he said about Declan Rice. And here's the clip for Declan.
And then Veltman, shaping to take the free kick, whacks Declan Rice instead of the ball.
Well, look, the free kick was given Brighton's way. He was just about to take it, Veltman, and I think Declan Rice might have inadvertently touched it. He was supposed to get away from the ball quickly to enable people to take their free kicks.
Delving into his pocket for a yellow card.
Oh,
right back. In fact,
who did he give the red card to there?
well, the yellow came out first of all, and then Rice, who's already on a yellow, he's been penalised, I think, for kicking the ball.
So we all saw that, and Gallagher came out to say that, to the letter of the law, Rice deserves the yellow card, the second yellow card, and therefore he was sent off. Now, the scenarios is very, very similar. I mean, if you're a football fan and you know football, that in itself is exactly, in my eyes, it is exactly the same thing. Gallagher wanted the red card for the Luton player, but he says that Rice in this instance was the perpetrator and he deserves the second yellow card, therefore he was sent off. And that to me doesn't really make sense. So I'm not going to argue the fact of Rice. I'm not going to argue the fact that it is an Arsenal player. I'm going to argue the fact that it is an inconsistent statement from a former referee and now a referee that is used for comments and unpacking certain decisions been made by referees on the game week, and which is Ref Watch, which is probably on a Monday night. And this particular person, same scenarios, different views. So this is what I'm saying. The inconsistency and the decisions made by PGMOL and their officials, the mainstream media does not challenge them in order to get to the bottom of it. They accepted the fact that he said that he won a red card for the Luton player, and they accepted the fact that Declan Rice's yellow card is deserved. Irrespective of when the law came out of a player that will be punished for delaying the restart, irrespective of when it came out, the letter of the law needs to be practiced by all parties, even those who no longer doing the activities of officiating, even those, because you can't be subjective on when you want to say this is a red card and this is not a red card. Same situation, different views, different opinions. Doesn't make sense to me at all. You have to stand together and come out and call these people out and legitimately keep them honest and keep them responsible and keep them accountable for what they say in the mainstream media. And those are the things that we struggle as fans of football. We struggle with, because the inconsistency is no longer there. But again, that is just what I say. That is just what I believe. We as fans have to stand together, whether you banter or not. You have to stand together, whether it is a rival fan, a rival team. You got to be consistent in your own opinions, and don't watch it because I don't like Liverpool, or I don't like Arsenal, I don't like Ipswich. Don't watch it like that. Watch it with the fact that it could have been your team, it could have been your player, it could happen to you, and your game can, or your season can be changed because of those decisions. and I thank you. But then, you know what? We have to believe we can make a difference. We have to believe we can, no matter where in the world you are, you have to believe that you can do something about it. You have to believe that. Have your say, have your thoughts in the comment section, and also do not forget to subscribe, to like the video, and obviously share. Put on the notification for Guna Matters to come onto your devices, and that you will be notified about going live or videos. And I will see you again. God bless, be safe, and don't forget to be awesome. Peace.